You're listening to the Win by Two podcast powered by DIMER 2K. I'm your host, Christian Charisma, and thank you for tuning in to whatever platform you're consuming this episode on. If you haven't already, download our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by searching Win by Two, and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube by searching One-on-One Chris. Today, let's welcome a pair of first rounders onto the show, Crush and Bash of Kingsguard Gaming. Fellas, thanks for making the time and stopping by.
Appreciate you for having us.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you. So you guys, you both were selected in this year's draft. And while I'm sure, it's a surreal and incredible experience for each and every player that's selected into the 2K League, what has it been like for you two to be able to go through the experience together?
I feel like my experience is kind of different because I was at the draft, and I know Bash is at home watching from his family. But this whole experience has been surreal. A year prior to this experience, I was grinding, trying to make the league, trying to figure out how am I going to gain connections, how am I going to build my name and basically experiencing enough to be able to be good enough to play in the league. So in total, it has been a surreal experience, especially playing with Bash. I didn't really know him going into the draft. The day of the draft, they told me, we're looking at picking up this guy named Bash. He's a scorer. I'm like, all right. I guess we could take a chance on him. So, overall, it's been a surreal experience.
So for me, it's like you said, it's been real surreal. And the fact that I got to, stay home, I live in Cali. So getting to stay out here is even more of a blessing. That's pretty much, what I wanted to do coming to the league. It was like, I wanted to stay in California. I love it out here. I never want to leave this place. So I like that fact a lot. For me, like I said, last year I went undrafted. So I looked about all the things that I could have done differently to, get myself drafted this year, get my name out there more. Like he said, make those connections. So pretty much I flew out to New York, met some people, show my face more. It's at the end of the day, when it comes to this, it's bigger than just 2K. You have to be able to be a real people's person, how to handle yourself. You got to be able to talk to people and stuff like that. That's a blessing. Getting to play alongside Crush, I've really been, my whole team is PlayStation. So it was I didn't really know much about my team coming here. But once I found out, I got all these defensive players around me. I love playing defense too. Defense is a lot of fun. So it was it fit everything, just all the pieces just fit so well together. Play defense and score the ball. That's what I like to do. So I couldn't have got put into a better situation. So very thankful.
Right. Now, Bash, despite the rest of your team being PlayStation guys, you got to stay on the West Coast, like you said. Crush, you're from the East Coast. So, what was it like being, having to come down to Cali and just kind of, I don't know, being in a new environment, being in a new setting?
Oh, man, I can't even tell you the thoughts that was going through my head leading up to the draft. I've never, ever been to the West Coast. So this is actually my first time coming to the West Coast. I was excited. My parents was excited. I'm about to be across the country. I just couldn't imagine being, all the way on a different side of the country from, just playing 2K. So I take every day by day. I'm, very appreciative for the spot that I am in. I don't take anything for granted. I come in, work every single day, do the best that I can, try to be the best teammate that I can, and just do my job as a professional every day.
Right. Now, Bash, I asked Zay this question last week. Talk about the process of, going undrafted the year before, and then, if I'm not mistaken, you won that spot in the Warriors Invitational, I believe.
Yeah.
Going through the combine again, because you know how much of a grind that is. What was your mentality going into it, and what did you think was different for you this year?
So for me, pretty much after I went undrafted, everyone's gonna sit there and be kind of disappointed and hurt a little bit. So I let that go for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and after that, I was just looked at God looked at it as it wasn't my time yet. It's gonna come. That was my first year ever trying to make the league. Pretty much a lot of people in the league they've been doing this. They've all known each other for a very long time. So I just used it as motivation. I just looked at all the little things that I could have done differently. Like I said, I showed my face a lot more. I try to be more into the community. I try to play in these pickup lobbies on Xbox. I'm talking 4 p.m. till 6 in the morning the next day. You're there in those lobbies just all day. Being able to show that you can compete with the best of the best is okay, now they're starting to wake up and realize, okay, this kid has some talent. Then the Warriors event. So pretty much majority of my team was in it. Like they had already won the Nets, the Hornets, they already won different events. So they were all in. The whole thing was they were like, yo, we're going to go out there and we're going to get you your spot. Like you're going to do what you do and this is your spot. Like this is what we're here for. So, having them like tell me that and believe in me, it was a confidence booster. Like I couldn't come out there and not perform up to my standards. So that happened. And like, it was just having the family supporting cast behind me. Like after that, I watched the stream back and that was the first time I seen my whole family. Like my whole family's in the Twitch chat. Like I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like I never thought like my family would be sitting there watching me play 2K. Like I never thought my way, like, kind of out was a video game, but things come and it was just a blessing.
Now, just to kind of touch on that, Bash, I'd taken in that article that interview you had done with The Athletic, and it really dove into you and the support that you received from your family. I think I even saw a tweet from you where, your family was watching the WR finals.
Yeah, that was the
online.
Warriors one.
Yeah, exactly. And
the WR one.
Yeah, so like talk about how big they've been for you, especially because gaming at this point, esports has exploded, but at this point it's not everybody gets the support that they're looking for. You did.
So like at first, when I was like 18, 19 years old, trying to explain to my parents, because my family traded air conditioning. I was gonna start going to school for that around that time when I first like thought about this, and having to explain like I really want to put a lot of more passion into trying to pursue my dreams. Like that talk was like, how do I bring this up to a parent? Like as a parent, you're just like, what do you mean you're not trying to go to school to play? You're trying to play a video game? Like it doesn't make sense. So like right. I sat there with like, it took me a while to finally like, all right, this is what I'm going to do to tell them. I finally told them they were just, whatever you want to do, like we're going to have your back. Like if anything you try for 2 years, it doesn't work out. You're only 21 years old. Like you're still young. You can, go to school. It takes 2 years to do what you need to do. Boom. So I was just like, all right. So they're like, whatever you need help in, if you need help, getting equipment for streaming, anything you need, like we have your support behind it. And then like knowing like all my aunts and my uncles and my cousins, my little brothers are all just like all in the chat, always texting me. Like my mom sends me reactions of like my grandpa, he's like 70 and he's just, reacting like he's having a lot of fun watching the game. I'm just like, so having that like supporting cast, it means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Right. Just and again, congrats on kind of like blazing your own trail and creating a path for you.
Appreciate
Crush.
That.
Yeah, Crush. You kind of blazed your own trail. You're the first win taken in the draft. The league has always been very heavy point guard meta, pick and roll with the big. Season 1, 5 out kind of style. How did you feel? Being taken number 3. And in a league where it's very heavy point guards, I think out of the first 10 picks, I think 9 of them were point guards. How did you feel being taken number 3, Crush? And what does that say about what you bring to the table?
Getting picked number 3, I felt very, appreciative. Always confident. I'm always confident in my game. So, being picked number 3 wasn't a surprise to me. I know it's, surprise to people in the league and, people from prior drafts, but if you look at last year, Gradient was picked, what was he picked, number 2 overall? So, I mean, that's nothing new to the league for a lockdown, but you have to have a major impact on the game to be picked that high, being a non-guard. So, coming into the draft, I knew what I had to do. I have to be a leader coming into this Kings guard team, and, I feel like I'm doing a good job doing that. So, and overall, I didn't feel any pressure. I just knew what I had to do, and I know I had to perform at the end of the day.
Right. Now, last question on just the whole pre-draft draft process. Kingsguard traded BP away for a return that was, debated online, and people really broke down that trade. In the NBA, teams, fans, media, they're always looking back on trades to see who won. Is that something you guys think about? Because you're not necessarily traded piece for piece, but you were part of that transition from this era of Kingsguard gaming basketball to this new 2020 season. Is that something you guys think about?
Personally, I can't speak on behalf of Atlanta or BP, but coming into this draft, I just focused on this new season, this new 2 rookies coming in, me and Bash, and what we have to do to make sure this organization is on top of the league. So based off, the tip-off tournament. We did really good in that. We made it to the finals. Unfortunately, we lost, but it did show, our potential as a team. There's a lot of time to, gain chemistry, and, you just the sky's the limit at this point.
My opinion is pretty much the same thing on that. Like, we came into this mindset not really worried about, the past. We want to come in here and we want to focus on what's in front of us, and me and him perfecting our roles and our craft. And, like you got three veterans and then 2 rookies come in. So it's just like having them as well we're really appreciated for them as well. They're really vocal leaders. So definitely thankful for this team.
Yeah. Now let's move away a bit from the virtual hardwood. Like, what do you guys like to do outside of 2K? Bash, like I know I've seen a clip of you online somewhere playing softball from a few years ago. Is that like something you kind of enjoy doing? Like, what do you guys like to do off the court?
So like growing up, like I played baseball, basketball, and football. Those are my like 3 favorite sports to play. Baseball was my most talented. Basketball was my favorite to play. So like when you see me on that clip, I was actually playing in a men's softball league. I was only like 17, 18 years old, but my cousin, he travels like states to play men's softball leagues. And I was like, baseball was fun to me. So I was like, I might as well just try it. So I was like trying to play it and stuff like that. But that's a lot of fun to do. I like playing basketball. Something that a lot of people don't really know is like, I like playing volleyball. Like volleyball is actually kind of fun. So that's something that's kind of different.
Cool. What about you, Crush?
I'm pretty simple. I like to play basketball. I like to work out. Enjoy times with my family and friends. I'm a real family orientated type of person. So if I'm not out, playing basketball, playing sports, I'm home with my family, with my dog, enjoying those, precious time together. But a lot of people don't know that I like to play chess. I have a chess app on my phone, and I just play chess whenever I'm not, whenever I'm bored, really, to sharpen up my mental stability.
Yeah, who do you think is the one guy in the 2K league then that could challenge you in chess?
I'm not too sure who plays chess in the league, but yeah, I don't know who plays chess in the league. So
we gotta figure that out.
If anybody's out there that's listening and you play chess, just DM me on Twitter. We could get a game going.
Okay, well, better question then. Like, I think you're gonna have to kind of confirm this for me. But were you nasty in Black Ops 2, Crush?
Was I what?
Were you good at Black Ops 2?
Yeah, I was great. I was great at Black Ops.
We were just watching his YouTube videos the other day about Call of Duty and stuff like that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was a part of a organization called Team Envious. They have a pro division too as well. I don't know if they do now, but they were pretty big back then in 2013, 2014, that era. So I was a part of that. Unfortunately, I didn't continue with that organization. But look, I'm here now playing 2K for a living. So.
Yeah, exactly. Before we kind of move back into 2K, very quickly, Crush, discuss your partnership there with the ESQ Sports Division.
All right, so my association with ESQ Sports Division is basically a partnership to help me, grow my brand outside of 2K and, just to let everybody know what I can bring to the table outside of 2K.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's a huge development for the 2K League to kind of be able to bring those, outside parties to help kind of represent you, and then for both of you, just kind of extend your brand.
Exactly.
What's the mindset for Kingsguard headed back into regular season play? Now, you guys are 6-3 currently. Like you said, you guys had a really good showing at the tip-off tournament. Like, what's the mindset headed back to regular season play?
The mindset is just to get back to work. Like I said before, unfortunately, we didn't, finish off the tip-off tournament as champions, but it did give us a lot of motivation and a lot to look forward to. So, basically to answer your question is just to get back to work, get back to the lab, work on our craft, and try to gain as much more chemistry as we can to move forward into the rest of the tournaments and hopefully the playoffs moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much what he said. We're real hungry coming into these next games and finish off the season as strong as we can. So, I like where we're heading. Like, we're definitely, that tip off gave us a lot of motivation to let us know where we're at and the little things that we need to work on. So that's pretty much our mindset going into that.
Just a couple more questions. If you guys could bring our listeners behind the scenes. We had talked about the tip-off tournament. You guys, ran it all the way to the finals, lost to the champs. in Toronto. What was the feeling like? What was the mood and atmosphere like amongst the team after your finals loss in the tip-off tournament?
The mood was, of course, nobody likes to lose, but we had a meeting right after the game, basically to keep everybody's heads up. We have 2 rookies. Obviously we have 3 veterans as well. This is our first tournament together as a team. I'm pretty sure none of us played together before. If you look at the Raptors, Still Trill, they played together. They have chemistry. They have veterans on their team that's amazing leaders. So just moving forward, just keep our heads up. We got a long way to go. This is not the end of the road. There's still money to be made, and just be leaders at each position. Me and Baz being rookies, we have to be the best leaders we can on both sides of the court. So moving forward, just keep our heads up and get ready for those next couple games.
Exactly, pretty much exactly what he said. That's pretty much exactly what happened. Like we after the game we walked out. We have like a lobby right there. We all sat in that lobby. We talked obviously like we were hurt. We felt like we played too good to go out the way we did in the finals. So that took a little toll on us, but it was nothing to hang our heads about. We, like you said, we're 2 rookies, and we're leaders on both ends of the ball. The offense starts with me, and the defense starts with him. So like we felt like at the end of the day, we led our team, and our team, they did like everybody just played their role. Like it took all 5 of us to get there. So like that was something really good for us to like look back on. Like, man, we really made it this far already. Like we're just, I feel like we look at it as like we're just getting started. We're still kind of figuring ourselves out and our little mistakes. But I feel like there's a lot of potential over here. So definitely we're going into the mindset like we're gonna be back. Like in a championship environment, we're gonna be back.
Right. Now, final question. You guys have been there with each other during the beginning of each other's journey in the 2K League. Take turns describing each other's style and why it fits so well in this Kings Guards roster.
All right. So I feel like, Bash's play style is more on the scoring side of things. He's a great scorer. Like I said before, coming into the draft, I didn't know who Bash was. I'm a PlayStation dude. He's an Xbox guy. So I learned about him the day of the draft when we were about to pick him. So, they said we got a scorer. So my mindset going into this is like you have a great front court, with me, Shots, and Kobe. So it takes a lot of relief off of you. And all you have to do really is just score the ball, and everything else is going to come into play. We have some great leaders, some great veterans in Seam, Shots, and Kobe. And I consider myself a great leader as well, like veteran material. So, just coming into the draft, all we needed was a scorer, and that's what he's known for. So I'm pretty sure everything meshed well, and we're doing pretty good right now.
And then from my point of view, when I heard like the Kings, had real good interest into me and they were taking Crush at 3, I was just like hoping I fall, hoping I make it to 17. Like I don't want to be anywhere else. I get to stay out here and I get to play with an amazing defense. Like, we got 3 real good, like you said, the front court. It's like our front court is you're gonna feel our presence of our front court. So like knowing like we gonna get stops. So I gotta score. Like I love, like I said, defense is like it's huge. Your defense, you win games playing defense. Like at the end of the day, so being able to play defense and then like all I gotta do is just focus on just scoring. How are we gonna score the ball? And I got Seam to help me out. Seam's having a real good year. Seam's slept on. I feel like Seam was real slept on.
Yeah, he showed out during the tip-off tournament.
Seam is a lot of help, and I hope people really realize that he's a dog. Like I love playing alongside Seam, and pretty much I like our team a lot. Our team is real good.
Well, I know our listeners are very excited to watch both of you grow. Before we let you guys go, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Rafael Rose, RAFELROSE, YouTube.com/Crushy, CR with 3 U's, SHY, or Twitter at twitter.com/Crushy with 3 U's, so CRUUUSHY.
You can find me on Twitter at @MattRobles_, MATTROBLES_, or you can find me on Instagram at Matt2, the number 2, Robles. And then on Twitch, it's Bash__1.
Fantastic. Again, thank you to both of you for coming on to the show.
Appreciate you for having us.
Exactly.
Perfect. That was Crush and Bash. This was the Win by 2 podcast. I'm your host, Christian Charisma, and we'll be back after this break.